Do you want to know a secret about making manga? The best mangakas don't just draw characters in boxes. They direct them like a movie scene. That's why their pages feel alive and why readers remember their stories long after they close the book. The good news? You don't need a film degree to pull this off. You just need to learn a few cinematic techniques. Over the last 3 years, we've taught over 400 beginners and helped transform their manga journey to incorporate more cinematic storytelling. Today, we're breaking down these techniques with insights from pro mangaka mentors who know how to make every panel land. And if you stick around, we'll share how you can land an all-expense paid trip to Japan and get the rare opportunity to share your work with Japanese publishers. Did you know manga wasn't always this movie-like? It didn't always look like this. If you look back at early manga, panels were super simple. These early manga were directly inspired by American newspaper comic strips. Characters were lined up in boxes, the camera was fixed at one point, and there was very little movement in how scenes flowed. It was more about what happened than how it felt. That all changed after World War II. Artists like Osamu Tezuka, often called the god of manga, started pulling ideas from Disney movies and live-action films. In New Treasure Island, Tezuka Sensei began experimenting with dramatic shots, like close-ups and scene cuts, the same techniques filmmakers used. Look at this scene. First, a close-up of the character's determined face. What's he doing? What's he so determined about? Then, it slowly zooms out across the next 3 panels. We see he's actually in his car, driving toward something. Finally, we get the full shot of him racing down the road and speeding away. With this storytelling style, readers feel the tension building, and we're immersed in the moment. No dialogue needed, just art and camera work. This technique transformed manga forever. Readers weren't just looking at the flat sequence of drawings anymore. They were experiencing the story as if it were playing out on screen. And that's the key. When you draw manga, you're not just sketching, you're directing the scene. So every shot you draw has to be chosen with purpose and ultimately serve the story and its characters. If you want to make manga like a director, then book a free one-on-one manga consultation call with us. We'll figure out the biggest thing that's holding you back and give you a clear roadmap of what to do next. You'll get to work with professional mangakas and a pro manga editor. But that's not all. Our best students get to go on an all-expense paid trip to Japan's biggest comic convention, where you'll get the opportunity to pitch your work directly to Japanese publishers. We'll even translate your manga to Japanese and hire a translator on the ground. Even if you have no story yet, or you don't know how to draw, don't worry. We'll guide you through the whole process. If you're serious about making manga, then book a free manga consultation call through the link in the description. Now, if you're ready to draw like the pros, let's take a look at how mangakas borrow tricks from film directors. According to the Shonen Jump Guide to Making Manga,
it's all about cutting down on everything that's not what you're trying to show and giving the panels variety. You gotta decide what you want to draw, then how to add emphasis or pull back. Ask yourself, what do I want to get across? And how do I want to captivate readers? Those are the essentials.
take a look at how this plays out in Chapter 1 of Yona of the Dawn. We meet Princess Yona, a sheltered girl living a pampered life in the royal palace. She's naive, inexperienced, and has never faced real hardship. In this page, we're shown a full shot of Yona looking annoyed at being treated like a child. Our mentor, pro manga editor Vivi says,
"This part is big because Yona is upset that she's being treated as a child. So this actually is a very core problem that is deep in her heart. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be said in a very small frame. It needs to be big."
And in this other chapter, we see Yona's reaction when her crush congratulates her on her marriage offer.
The focus here in this comma is the text. That is the main thing. The main thing is we see the words first, and then we see Yona's expression here in the corner. There is no background. It's very white. It's very empty. This is Yona's feelings after receiving these words. She feels empty. She's shocked. If this was way more full, with more details around it, this wouldn't stand out that much, and wouldn't feel the shock of Yona receiving these words.
These paneling choices reveal things about Yona's character without spelling everything out. And that's the magic of manga, communicating the unsaid through framing, expression, and even silence. That's why thinking like a director is so important. You're not just drawing panels, you're guiding your reader's eyes, building emotion, and turning each page into a cinematic experience. Panel with impact. When you watch a rom-com, you don't expect jump scares, right? The same goes for manga. Different genres use different cinematic techniques. Our mentor, pro mangaka Naoyazawa, teaches how we can use different cinematic methods when paneling.
In action or shortened manga, you'll often see speed lines and sound effects to pump up the energy in a fast-paced scene. Or low-angle shots with no background or action lines to freeze a moment, just like slow motion. In shoujo or drama, you'll find backgrounds that express emotion, almost like there's background music, stylized speech bubbles to match the mood, or close-ups that make an emotional moment more intense.
As the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hirohiko Araki says,
"When I want the reader to clearly understand the character's emotional state, I insert a close-up of the character's face."
Another one of our mentors, pro manga editor Vivi, adds another tip.
Whatever you draw bigger on the page is meaningful. It's what you want your readers to remember.
Take the Apothecary Diaries. When Jinshi first appeared, he got nearly a whole spread to himself. This tells the reader, this character matters. Remember him. Now, let's take a look at horror. The Promised Neverland used tilted or Dutch angles for tension, like in this panel. When you use this angle, Vivi says,
Usually it's because you want to give an eerie feeling to whatever is happening. So this is very purposeful as well.
And apart from the angle, the lighting of your manga matters too. In the monochrome world of manga, how you use black and white and the halftones in between will emulate the effect of cinematic lighting. Take the first chapter of The Promised Neverland, for example. The early pages were drawn with bright lighting, with most of it covered in white and conventional camera angles. But this panel was the first time the pages suddenly went dark, and the angle and the darker color scheme make the reader uneasy.
Visually, it tells you, pay attention, something is about to happen. This is when it starts. This is not normal.
From there, the shadows deepen. The mangaka also chooses camera angles that make the characters look smaller within the panels, more vulnerable. It's like someone or something is watching them, following them, as they're walking into the belly of the beast. That gradual buildup of tension makes the reveal of the demons even more terrifying. The mangaka did this by building up suspense in several panels just before the shocking reveal. Vivi notes that full spreads should be reserved for the most pivotal moments in your story.
The hype moments have to be in key moments, important moments. If it's in a moment that has no meaning, you are just wasting paper and space in that moment.
This spread, where Emma discovers the demons, changes her life forever. The worm's eye view and the warped perspective show us how distorted and terrifying her reality has become. That's why Vivi says,
When you do paneling, you have to think about this as well. You need to study cinematography for better use of the panels.
angles, perspective, lighting, layout, all these things play a part in how well you can direct your manga. Whether you're aiming for shonen, shoujo, horror, or something else, there's always something you can learn from other media. Watch movies or even TV series and take note of the techniques they use to make certain scenes more impactful. Break it down and steal what you can. As Vivi says,
Stop being a fan and start learning from the material that already is out there.
here's one last tip to level up your manga. Mise-en-Scène. It's a film technique that means everything within the frame must contribute to visual storytelling. And by everything, we do mean everything. That includes setting, props, backgrounds, lighting, costumes, character blocking, sound effects, speech bubbles, and scene composition. Because if you're the director of your story, you gotta think of every panel as if it's a movie set. Then, imagine how you'll arrange your actors within it. Mise-en-Scène begins at the storyboarding stage, when you decide on the most essential elements of each scene. You'll pick out a setting, test out character blocking, then choose the angle that fits the scene best. Take this storyboard, for example. Hideaki Sorachi, creator of Gintama, starts with a close-up of a rope. Then he zooms out for an establishing shot of a man holding onto that noose, making his intentions clear. By zooming in again, the tension rises, and readers wonder if he's gonna do it. Then, a child appears in the next panel, and the mood starts to shift. That's mise-en-scène in action. Careful choices that affect how readers feel, panel by panel, scene by scene. One of our students, Michael, tried the same thing in this spread. He fine-tuned his storyboard with the help of our pro mangaka mentors. Michael paid special attention to the bike and the characters' costumes and motions to make the scene flow better. He also experimented with different ways to incorporate sound effects. With a few tweaks, the inked pages became more dynamic. So, don't stress if your first draft feels off. Just retake the scene and think like a director. Ask yourself,
what shot should be better?
Is the lighting too bright for the mood?
Do I need more props to sell the scene?
always think of what you want your readers to feel. Then adjust every element to deliver that. When you combine all these choices, you'll create a visual style that's unique to you and the story you're creating. And when you nail it, your manga will hit as hard as the best movie moments. Want to make sure your manga's on the right track? Then book a free one-on-one manga consultation call with us. You'll get direct guidance from pro Japanese mangakas and a pro manga editor. You'll join a support system of coaches and aspiring mangakas just like you. Plus, our best students will get the chance to go on an all-expense-paid trip to Japan and pitch their work to publishers. So, if you're serious about making manga, then hit the link in the description. For more tips on manga paneling and pacing, check out this video.